Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to Privi Speciality Chemicals Limited Q2 FY2024 earnings conference call hosted by Asian Market Securities Limited. This may contain forward-looking statements of the company which are based on the beliefs, opinions, and expectations of the company as on the call. These statements are not the guarantee of the future predictions and involve risks and uncertainties that are difficult to predict. Actual results may differ from such expectations, projections, etc. Whether expressed or implied, participants are requested to exercise caution while referring to such statements and remarks. As a reminder, all participants are in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance to the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star and 0 on your touch-tone phone. Please note the conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Kamlesh Kotak from Asian Securities. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Everyone, on behalf of Asian Markets, we welcome you all to the 2Q FY24 earnings conference call of Privi Speciality Chemicals Limited. We have with us today Mr. R.S. Rajan, President, Mr. Narayan Iyer, CFO, and Ms. Ashwini Shah, Company Secretary and Compliance Officer representing the company. I request Mr. Rajan to give us an optimal about the business, and then we will get a financial update from Mr. Iyer, and to be followed by Q&A session. To you, sir, Mr. Rajan. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kamlesh. Good evening to all our investor fraternity and a warm welcome. And at the outset, let me begin by wishing you and your families a very warm festive season ahead. And it seems that it's auguring well for our company also. So as you have seen by the results posted on the numbers, enumeration will be done by our CFO. But based on the calls that we've been having, you would appreciate that we are practicing Privi values, which is essentially transparency, respect and care, sense of urgency, sustainability and safety. So I'll start with transparency. We have been extremely transparent in all our previous calls, and especially after we got a feedback that we should be engaging with our investors on a more regular basis. I think our CFO has taken the initiatives to do that. And last time also we told you, we believe that the worst is behind us and now we see us trending forward. So let me start with the safety, which is another value that we have. We have recently been awarded by the National Safety Council a Plaque 1, which is first rank for our unit in Mahad, and also a certification of merit for some in Mahad. So with that, we continue our track record of being proactive on safety, and we have been doing regular mock drills. And we've also ensured behavior-based safety initiatives, which has taken us to the next level in terms of securing our interests. As far as sustainability is concerned, you will be happy to know we have embarked on a mission to become a 30% biomass and biofuel user by the end of this financial year. And we will continue to make praise on that, which will also include solar power, which will also kick in starting this month onwards. And going forward, we will continue our pathway of sustainability to become a coal-free company by the year 2025-2026. And having said that, it's a good sign that with all these initiatives, we have seen increase in the sales as compared to last year's time, as well as quarter on quarter. We've also been able to see change in the raw material prices, which is helping us maintain our margins. And we also see the high value inventory, which was causing concerns, melting, and has substantively come down. And of course, in one of the forays we had made in terms of technology on the specialty chemicals, we have been gaining traction. And I'm sure on the way forward, thanks to the vision of our chairman, Mr. Mahesh Bhavani, you will see that the specialty were foreseen as having a surge will take new value and new volumes for the company. So with those optimistic words and progress, with growth as the only mindset, I hand over the baton to our CFO, Narayan.
Hi, good evening to everyone, and a warm welcome to all my investors. And I'm on a very positive note, love to welcome all of you. The numbers for Privi, as was expected, have improved. There is an increase in the sales, prima facie on account of higher volume. There is an improvement even within the segment-wise sales, where specialty chemicals has gone up. Some of our new products have contributed increase in the sales, which is going well, and in line with what we from the company, Rajan, Ashwini, and myself have been time to time appraising our investors that Galaxamas, Parallel, and Camphor will start the sales, and as expectedly, sales of all these products have been decent enough and have led to a contribution to the increase in the sales. Sales prima facie have increased on as compared to the previous year. We're talking about comparison of September 22 vis-a-vis the September 23. Volume-wise, there has been a good growth of close to about 12% or so. So this is good well for us, and to our June numbers also, there is an increase in the sale of almost about 7%, and that's how we posted healthy results. And most important, as was appraised by me in my last call, most of our high-value inventory that we were carrying, over the last 8 to 12 months or so, we've been able to consume, liquidate, prima facie, and the results that you see, a better improvement compared to the raw material consumption on the sales, that has led to the impetus on the margins. So margins have improved significantly on account of the low value of raw material being consumed in this quarter. We feel that going forward also, the lower raw material will help us sustain our profit that we have been able to achieve in this quarter. And the company has already taken a lot of steps in reducing various other expenses, be it the employee costs or be it the power and fuel expenses. As you see, that our coal cost has been gradually coming down. It all goes well because most of the European countries have gone back to gas. Coal prices have started coming in. Availability of coal has eased out, and that's how the high-value coal, which was there in the previous year and a little bit in the first quarter, that's coming down, and we expect coal prices may, as we enter into the third quarter and fourth quarter, prima facie stabilized by another rupee or rupee and a half from the levels of currently it is being sold. And as we also have benefited by reduction in the freight, good negotiation skills by our the supply logistics, which has ensured that the prices that we are paying on the freight expenses, both for inward and outward, have also led to an improved profitability. And it stems well that in this particular quarter, when I talk about the consolidated number, my EBITDA level is close to 100 crores, about 88 crores or so is the EBITDA level that we're able to do. And we feel definitely going forward and with the auto positions and overall market scenarios in place and the festive season that we are in, not just in India but globally also. And December, as you are aware, is the most important festive coming around. We feel that we will be in a position to sustain the numbers that we have posted in this particular quarter and go on a healthy note as we talk for some of our negotiations for next year. So thank you, everyone. Thank you all the investors who have been with us for quite a long time, and I hope that Privi will continue to set up and retain pension levels that we have done. On that note, Kamlesh, I hand over to you for the next session of Q&A.
Thank you.
Kamlesh, one more good news just before you start. Let me also say that with with proud and with great excitement, I would like to inform one more information to all the investors that our camphor plant has been accredited with the FDA approval. So we have just got this a few weeks ago. It means that these camphor, which we will be able to sell in the market, also possibly be used in various pharmaceutical applications. On that note, Kamlesh, back to you, in fact.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask question may press star and one on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and two. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. Participants who wishes to ask question may press star and one to ask their questions. Anyone who wishes to ask question may press star and one on the telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and two. The first question is from the line of Nikhil from Perpetual Capital Advisors. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, Mr. Rajan and Narayan. Congrats on a great set of numbers. It seems like there's a turnaround here on the numbers. Just a few questions. So like you mentioned, on the energy side, you are looking to invest in solar and go coal-free by 2025-26. So what will be the impact on the company's financials?
I think sustainability is much more than impacting the company's financials. I think our chairman's vision of free earth and go on a sustainable path is to ensure that our growth is not only responsible, sustainable, it is also inclusive. So we need to get back to Mother Earth and the planet the way we need to search forward. I don't see a significant impact on the financials of the company. I see a significant impact on the carbon footprint is being underused, and as far as the solar power is concerned, we've already invested in it, and the green gas emissions will substantively get eliminated or come down. Those are the questions that we are having. And if I say to our investors who have been so kind and so supportive that in case there is a small percentage point or two to bear for their sustainability, I think we should all see that as our contribution towards the next generation, because at least they deserve the planet the way we inherited it, if not better.
Got it. But does it also help on, customer side, probably in European countries who really value sustainability significantly? So in terms of sourcing, does it give preference to companies like Privi?
Most definitely, because if you are not practicing sustainability, you are not in the table. You don't have your hat in the ring at all. Because as consumers and social media gets more aggressive, there will be communities who will boycott products which are not sustainable or who do not have a renewable source of ingredients. So Privi will continue to enhance its value by doing responsible and sustainable practices, and I am sure all our key accounts customers who are in the Fortune 500 not only value that, they appreciate our foray as they have done so even in our sustainability development goals, where we are already in 8 of 17 SDG goals.
Okay. So margins, EBITDA margin in the current quarter have moved to almost 20%. So what has happened? Has there been a change in product mix or so? I've never seen these kinds of margins at Privi, and are these sustainable?
Okay. Rajan, can I answer that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. The reason is that, most of the raw materials, high value raw materials, which we had in the past, was prima facie consumed. There has been a good improvement in the specialty chemicals that we have sold in this particular quarter, because we see that there is a spot on specialty chemicals where margins are better. Low cost of raw materials has also helped in better margin for our bread and butter products like whether it's hydromacinol, amberflow, pine oil, terpinol. Good galaxy sales has also gone up, and beyond a particular break-even sales that the company achieves and etc. Mostly gross margin then becomes the net margin for the company. So all this put together, our margins and EBITDA levels has improved. I would also like to say that these sort of numbers were also achieved if you could go back to some of our financials of 1999. In fact, it is also there on the annual report that we printed in this year, right on page number 3 or 4, that, going back to about 3 years ago, our overall margin in that flow also, we had shown that Privi is capable of getting those 18 to 20% of margin, and so it's not that it has not been achieved. It's not that we cannot do it. It's only that over the last 2.5, 3 years, we have been spending money as far as possible on expansion, keeping lieu our vision of going to the 3,000 crore mark, where we saw that some of the products that we wanted to enter, whether it was the Galaximus, whether the Perennial or Camphor, these products, as well as increase some of the existing product capacities of pine oil, terpinol, dihydromacinol, amberflow, and CST processing. All this took those as we spoke about, and those is now starting to sweat around. And the moment we are able to cross the threshold of the even, these margins will definitely come back. In fact, specifically, I will ask you to look at 2020 financials, where our budget for the entire year was as high as 21.74%. In fact, so it's only been that in 2023, the year of fix, the year of the war, the year of COVID, and increased costs and all the oil that we had, and which have been again enumerated. All my investors, all those who have been associated with Privi, the reasons was and why it was happening around. We feel that we are slowly coming out of all that issues and dollars and high value inventory, and slowly getting back the company in normalcy. And we expect that the normal range to be in that level of about 16.5 times, which we keep thinking about. And I would like to reiterate that when we talk about our margins, we also prima facie consider the income where I have a lot of my sales and purchases forex which comes in and sits around, since we need to comply with in India, where as per the accounting policies we have to classify them as other income, but these are my operating income. I'm not actually playing in derivative markets also. So this is something on account of timing differences between accounting a sales invoice today, receiving the money separately, or receiving a purchase invoice today and then paying it after that.
Understood. Understood. And sir, how does the demand scenario look like going forward? So I've been tracking the top blenders of the world since a couple of quarters, and at the start of the year, they spoke about stocking and the momentum picking up in the second half of the calendar year. And even in the last quarters, in their commentary, they say that consumer fragrances yet, has up now in high single digits, while fine fragrances is where the growth comes from. So how does it look for the company and, for next quarters, how does it look like?
Yeah, I think on the demand side, definitely fine fragrances have been doing fine. It's probably because life in many facets have bounced back to normalcy. And since we always say that our products are twined with human habits, so it has a tinge of anti-recessionary opportunities because habits don't change overnight. However, let's all be responsible and be cautiously optimistic because the world has never been more VUCA than what you see today. Just when we were still dealing with the Ukraine war, we have now a war between Israel and the Palestinians. So all these have a telling effect on the overall geopolitical environment. So it won't be prudent to predict whether the demand is going to surge up or come down. I can say that we can be cautiously optimistic because our products are related to day-to-day use in human habits, except for the fine fragrances, which comes into a different segment. But since we are addressing all the segments, and we are always looking at innovation, thanks to our chairman driving the R&D initiatives also, we will be able to tide over all the bumps that we encounter on route.
Okay. But in the current quarter, the growth is driven by exports or domestic market, because in the annual report you had mentioned, I think the company has added Unilever as a client, so that probably is domestic market. So what is leading to growth now?
In the given segment, both are showing a sense of growth. However, in the recent past, the growth has been a little, I would say, cautious, and we hope that the second half is going to continue the trend.
Okay.
Precise in answering, the growth is witnessed both in exports and in domestic, because we maintain our ratio of 70 and 30. This quarter also it is almost on similar lines of 68.88 on the export front and about 31.12% on the domestic front. So we broadly it is going to be a 70-30 ratio. This quarter maybe a percent here and there on account of camphor sales, which predominantly happens in India, and so growth has been robust in across the globe. In fact, to be certain segments of the market globally also. Maybe Latin America was down, but Europe was better because the destocking as a process has got down. So people have started lifting the materials more proactively, so that their production level is also looking up. The season of the festivity is around the corner in most part of the globe. So they would definitely want to capture the season, which means that they are not in a position to be zero inventory at their level. So all this has really helped us around to garner ourselves and post a decent number both in volume as well as in value as we speak in this quarter, which has got completed in September. And going forward, we see a almost similar trend that could possibly happen in this quarter of Q3 of October to December, where the numbers may, the volume is looking good, demand is more or less strong, and if this happens, it augurs well for our company, for your company, and you should be, in a position to see that we should have good Q3 results too.
Okay, nice to know that, sir. And how has camphor received now, since it's the first season, I think, for the company, supplying camphor. So far, how has the product been accepted in the commercial market? And with the FDA approval, the timeline for, how long does it take for you to start supplying pharma space now that you have NSD approval?
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, Rajan, you say, and then I will fill in if anything needs to be added. Go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So I think the camphor, since it is also season time, has shown a good stability on sales. Of course, as a new entrant who's having its first year of sales, we are going to be entering a competitive space. But since we have now made forays into an FDA approval, we have seeded the first inroads into the pharma companies. And I see in the second half some acquisitions of some of the customers as we go along. But overall, it's good to say that this is the first year of our performance. So the reception has been competitive but very encouraging.
Okay. One last question from my side is on the balance sheet front. While the inventory has come down versus the March quarter, do you see this settling? And can you also comment on debt? I mean, that has slightly come down, but what can be a good level to see maybe in the next 6 to 12 months?
We expect inventory to reduce further, and as I say, I can in absolute terms in rupees, but the idea is to get the inventory level in number of days, because if we are going to keep growing, idealistically we would want an inventory or in the various product mix that we have, 5 different segments of fine, specialty, citral, and then you have the sandal and out musk as another segment which is coming around. In fact, inventory level should sit down anywhere between 120 and 135 days. So we are striving to get it closer March end to the 135 days, maybe even a little lower, and going forward work on 120 inventory pattern as as is and the best for us, especially also having a sales GIP and GIP, because we buy material from various corners of the world on Incoterm basis of X works. So the moment you have an X works, it means that we need to take that as a inventory in your books, because the owners of risk or the owners of ownership passes on to us. Similarly, when it comes into sales, as you'll see that because of the in-days adoption, and also having the BL and DDA terms that we have with many of our customers. So this also gets termed as inventory. So this actually eats away almost close to about years of the inventory level that we are showing in the of accounts. Definitely augurs well, and our goal is to, as I said, get towards the optimum level of 120. The moment to 120, then we look moving to 105 days. The second on the debt front, as you see, comparing March, we already about 9 crores lower than what we were, and maybe close to about 100 crores lower than the peak level that we had, seen our debt going somewhere around now December of 2022 in our previous year. So we are at about 995 net of cash. I'm talking about console level. We feel if things go the way that it is, and as also mentioned to the investors, that by March maybe I should be in a better position, bring it to about closer to 900, and look to achieve somewhere around 58-75 crores. So that's the overall debt scenario that we can look at for the Privi on a consolidated basis.
Okay. Just clarification, the 120 to 155 odd days target for the inventory includes the GI, right?
That's correct. That's correct.
Okay. Thank you so much, and I wish you best luck going forward.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The next question is from the line of Archit Joshi from B&K Securities. Please go ahead.
Thanks a lot, sir, and very good evening. Thank you for the opportunity. I just wanted to ask you on some of the projects that you are doing, which are
Sorry to interrupt, sir. Mr. Archit, your voice is very low. Can you use handsets while asking the question?
Yeah.
No, sir.
Hello, Arjun. Am I audible right now?
Some sort of a hollow sound coming in, but I can hear you any which way.
Sir, my question was regarding some of the projects that you are considering, which sir could have been commissioned or advanced stages of consideration. Sir, if you can give an update with respect to their status. So one of them will be the Alexide Musk project, Ionil project. Obviously, you discussed a bit on Camphor, and the other one will be our JV with France. So where would we be in terms of revenues or ramp up of the capacity?
Rajan, you
Yeah.
or me?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Rajan.
Okay. So, Arjit, thanks for bringing those products into the radar. On the Galaxo Musk, we are having a good progress on the same, and the quality that we are producing is being really appreciated by the customers. And we also want to continuously not only improve the efficacy and the purity of the product, we also want to ensure that we have a seamless and on-time delivery for all our customers. At this point of time, we have surged up to about 60% to 63% usage of our capacity, including all mixes. And hopefully by the middle of next year, we should surge ahead more on the volumes, but be able to throw more light on it in the last quarter of the coming financial year. As far as Prianil is concerned, Prianil is not something that we ever had a plan to rush into. We want to make sure that the Prianil that we produce not only is top of the line in terms of quality and all, is also something that has an element of innovation in terms of renewability around it. So our scientists are making some fantastic progress. So we are already supplying those products to some of our customers, but the surge will follow maybe after another 6 months or so. At this point in time, it's fair to say that we are taking a decision of how much to scale up, depending on the targets that our internal team is meeting and being monitored from the chairman onwards at a regular basis. So we definitely are going to be one of the most important players in the world in the Prianil product. So things are auguring well.
To answer something on the numbers, definitely as Rajan stated, Galaximus is really doing wonders, with talk also as well as the Camphor. So Camphor in this first 6 months have really contributed in terms of both volume and value, where we are competing with many of the existing customers. So it's close to about 20 odd crores of sales that have come in the first half of the year, competing with the existing players. Galaximus definitely has, on an overall sales, it's contributed close to about 65, 66 crores to the sales of the first 6 months in Privi. And volume also is very decent, as Rajan rightly said. In fact, we feel that we will be a force to reckon with on this product going forward also, in fact.
Great, sir. That's quite hard to hear. Sir, also I asked about the JV that we have merged with Bhutan.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll just give you an update. So the JV is concerned, at this point of time, it is progressing very well, and we are having regular interactions and reviews as a one team between our JV partners, Divadan and us, and everything is progressing as per the schedule. And in between, there was a hiccup where the project was about 20 days and schedule, but our team has worked hard with a sense of urgency to make sure that they are making up on the time. And true to the way Privi moves, we are also going to be adding value to the JV as we go along, and you'll be hearing this as one of the good examples of a global company with a local company, globalizing opportunities and taking it to the next level. So hopefully by next year, we'll be in the news for the right reasons.
Great, sir. So there's another project that we have spent a significant amount of time and probably money, manpower, everything, develop clean, renewable live menthol. Any take on that front, sir?
Yeah, so, no R&D effort goes waste. It's a matter of timing, and it's a matter of how we have to secure the investments and the return on the investments for our stakeholders and our investors. So we are going for a high level of permutation and combinations to see that we are able to give renewable menthol where any material that we use is going to be sustainable in terms of price parity. And given the situation we see in the world, this project is definitely going to go forward. In what shape and size, it will be too early to predict, but I would say this, that we are very serious about this project, and there's a lot of work going on at the R&D where the scientists are achieving some amount of traction. But in the time we get a game-changing breakthrough, Privi is not known to launch products and take a backseat. In whichever project that we launch, we would like to be among the top players, and that's always been our quest. And we have proven it time and again. So I think you should see the evidence of our track record where over 20 years we've had a CAGR growth of almost 19%.
And to add to what Rajan said, put a very serious matter into a lighted manner. I feel that we as told to the investors, it is time that we garner all the money that we have, and it should cash is king. Most of investors were saying that we went overboard with investments and with CapEx. So it's time that we get the money back into the system. Investors are happy before we can go and launch the next topics. As you all are aware, levo menthol, green menthol. What is the green project of our chair? At the appropriate time, we will launch it, but having good financials, strong financials, so that our investors will back us in, ensuring that we embark upon such a prestigious and ambitious project, which is highly intensive. On note, Kamlesh, to you.
Could I squeeze in one more question?
Sure.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Sir, just from the last Concall, we were thinking of some more clarity with respect to how that might pan out, let's say somewhere in November and December, during which probably you might enter into negotiations with respect to volume or prices. Given that we largely cater to personal care category, wherein two of our flagship products, Amber Floor and Dihydro, along with the new initiative that we have, the Thomas, finding applications in these discretionary personal care categories, knowing that the current discretionary environment in the Western world is kind of getting into a lot of their economic progress. How are we in terms of that cycle, let's for the next 1 to 2 years? I'm slightly from a nearer human.
Yeah, we are in a position because Privi has a track record of reliability, credibility, and sustainability for the past decades. And the luxury segment is growing, as you can see, even in markets which are under pressure economically. So I think in the fine fragrances, the future continues to be bright. And even the companies which are into the mass segment, they have been using our ingredients to make a differential in a fiercely competitive environment. And customer is always looking at add-on value. So even in categories like detergents or your antiseptics and your sanitizers or soaps, consumers always looking for a lift to his senses. And as far as olfactiveness is concerned, where you have to put the right mix, and we have some brilliant fragrance and blending setups with whom we have a preferential status. So we are in a position, and since we've got all the ticks on the right boxes, I think the future continues to be bright. But while I say this, I put a hashtag that given the scenario, we need to be optimistically cautious and continue to stay positive. Because we are a battle-hardened team, and we've done many bumps, and I don't see any reason why going forward when the worst is behind us, we should not progress better.
Sure, sir. Thanks a lot, and wishing you all a very happy Diwali. Thanks.
Thank you, and same to you. And make sure that you keep it pollution-free.
Sure, sir.
Thank you. Before we take the next question, we would like to remind participants that you may press star and one to ask questions. The next question is from the line of Viral Vansali from Pearl Investment. Please go ahead.
Hi. Good evening and congratulations, set of numbers. Thanks for the opportunity. Well, sir, I wanted to ask you a question regarding your JV, the Swiss company. I don't know how you spell it, Jivaudan. What are the products you are intending to manufacture in this JV? And is this JV be an outsourcing unit for Jivaudan's Switzerland operations?
Yeah, the right way to call this is Jivaudan, and this JV has its own identity because it's a 51% shareholding of Privi and 49% of Jivaudan. So it's called Privi. So that's the name of this JV, and we are in a understanding that we are going to manufacture products, and we are going to pass on these products to Jivaudan on a exclusive basis. That is the foundation of the JV. That does not stop us from going forward in the future times of exploring other opportunities which this JV will bring about. But these are early days. First, let's get the product sweating for all of us, and then we'll be happy to share the progress we make on it.
So, are these products overlapping with products already manufactured?
No, they are not. You see, they have recognized after decades of association with us our ability, and they have belief in the chairman's vision and the team that he has built over the past 2.5 decades from scratch. And many of our people who occupy the core fulcrum of the first and second rung, they have on an average been with us for anywhere between 12 to 22 years. So with such a lineup of people and talent, they have reposed trust in us to handle complex chemicals, and so far the team is doing well. And I hear some of you congratulating us. We are just custodians, and we will carry on this congratulations to the entire team who sweat it out for us in the plants and in the market.
Yes, so what is the scale that you wish to expand? Because Jivaudan is a big organization, 6-7 billion euro organization. For us, it's like the sky is limit. So how big can this JV?
See, at the point of time, it will be, sort of exaggerating if I say that we have great plans for it. It has a good plan. It is going to be very positive and progressive. But at this point in time, we are focused on delivering the specialty chemicals that we have been entrusted to do, and we are approaching it progressively and responsibly. And once these deliveries take place, that can maybe have 2 and phase 3. At this point in time, we are focused on the task, and these are not volume churners. They are highly complex specialty chemicals which need to be made in this plants. They have their degree of complexities which they trusted us to manage, and we'll be able to navigate around.
Okay, sir. So your target of achieving 3,000 crore revenues, does it involve Jivaudan's revenue, Chief's revenues, potential revenues?
No. So when we spoke about the 1,000 crore, it was with regard to Privi and his own products, at the infrastructure, the volume, the capacity that we have built up and set up, good enough for us to go closer to the 1,000 crore. Whatever we do with JV will be over and apart from that.
Any timeline as to how, till when you wish to achieve the target? revenue?
Okay. As mentioned in some of our earlier investor calls and also, informed by our chairman during the AGM, so we target that, we should be in a position to go closer to the 3,000 crore by next 2.5, 3 years or so. So maybe 25, 26 so, we could be possibly reaching towards the 3,000 crore mark.
And sir, lastly, considering our history, is it possible that we may sometime in future contemplate selling ourselves to the Swiss giant?
Why would you hazard a guess on that?
Because we already did that once with Fairfax.
No, we never sold our company to Fairfax. They were one of the major investors, and Mr. Babani has been running the company for the past 25 years, and I'm sure we can do that for another 25 if you ask me, given his energy levels, and he's one of us who's growing younger. So I think these speculations have been around in the market, more so because of the JV. We have never hesitated to share anything that is happening of importance in our company, and we don't have to speculate. At one time, he's the majority shareholder in the company. In fact, he's made many sacrifices this year in order for us to bounce back, including taking a salary cut. And salutations to a visionary leader. I think we should encourage such initiatives rather than always speculate about stuff.
No, I mean,
let me also add what Rajan has stated. In fact, it's actually doesn't augur well that question about selling out or something. But FX came in with another primary infusion, and seen in Privi's culture. I've been associated with the company for more than 15 years. We have had PE firms who come in with a primary infusion, help the company grow. We have a mix of equity and debt to the next level. Augurs well. Every PE has a benchmark level of anywhere between 3 to 5 years. So they finish off their term. The next set of investors come in. They pay off the first set of investors, bring in primary infusion into the company. We can develop more products, expand ourselves, and that's how Privi has grown in the last 15 years. If you see, grown from 110 crores. I joined this organization back in 8. We are closer to the brink of 2,000 crore mark. So it's the way that we know when to get the equity, when to raise a debt, how to grow the company, and as Rajan rightly stated, we've been led by very capable leader, former Mr. Mahesh Babani, who has a vision set, who has already put India on the global front as far as the aroma chemicals is concerned, and especially in the pine space that we are leaders. We have global leaders in all the main products of pine. Why should we look at something else? In fact, another investor asked, where are we going in for our dream project? We will go at that top time. So at that time, when we feel we would be raising money by way of equity or by way of a debt, it will be a culmination, maybe a balanced approach that we go in. But as of now, we had about 2-3 quarters which were not too good. It's our also moral responsibility towards our investor, to our bankers, to our promoters, to everyone associated with Privi, whether it is my customers or my vendors, that we put Privi back in good financial stability for us to take the next set of decisions, in fact. So we really do not want to take or answer anything in haste. Whatever happened in the last couple of years was beyond our capability of making it. It happened. There was a COVID. There were certain delays in getting the permissions from various government agencies. The war erupted, and these were beyond our reasonable capability of arresting and putting the company under check and the growth. I believe we are not doing that, what is needed. We will definitely ensure that our investors will be happy as we keep going around the next couple of years, in fact.
No doubt about it. Very, very much appreciated. Your response is very much appreciated. Maybe I phrased it a little bit wrongly. I mean, something on the similar lines of compare like the Swiss giant that we have a JV with. We can be handed by them and can take us to the next level. As Mr. Bhavani has always led to investor wealth growing. I've been with company from ATI 5 times and after which and then PV was merged to it. So I've been with the company for a pretty long time, and they've really generated a lot of wealth for investors. So my question was really on those lines, that if any particular tie-up or fair arrangement which can take us to the next level is what I'm actually meant.
See, at that level, if at all anything happens around, we'll be the first people to announce to the world, and the investors will be definitely in the know-how of it. As of now, let's savor our good performance, and let's hope and pray that this performance, we are in a position quarter on quarter.
Certainly, sir. You made our investors Diwali very sparkling with your numbers. So there's no doubt about it. Thank you very much for the answers, and wish you all a very happy Diwali.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. If there are no further questions from the participant, I now hand the conference over to the management for closing comments.
Rajan, please.
Yeah, I think a hearty thanks, full of gratitude, and on behalf of the entire Privi team, I once again wish all of you a very happy festive season ahead. And sometimes, when the bounce back is good, could be some questions. Then, we are witnessing a World Cup where our team is 9 matches winning in a trot. So when something goes that good also, we start worrying that when are they going to lose one match at least. So let's not do that. I think let's stay positive. We are going through a tough geopolitical situation, and your company is doing everything that we can in terms of risk mitigation and also opportunity realization. And every crisis that Privi has faced, they has turned it into an opportunity. So I gratefully, humbly on behalf of the chairman and the entire team, thank you once again. And we wish you best of even in the year ahead.
I augur well that what Rajan has stated, and once again wish my investors, shareholders, bankers, everyone associated with Privi a great happy Diwali and a wonderful new year. Be safe, and God bless all of you.
On behalf of Asian Market Securities Limited, conclude this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.